First of all, I would like to thank Ministers McCroger and Minister Flack for being very close and making Ontario government close to its people in such a housing crisis. So thank you very much for this. My second point is the federal government announced about, I think, 25 billions for funding small apartment and condos and studios. And as well, we find the municipalities are supporting and encouraging to have even the detached garages to be changed into small studios and apartments. So is that the same plan for Ontario housing plan, I mean for government, to encourage small studios and apartments, condos than houses and detached houses? And is this has a relation to the 15-minute city or the smart city that the federal government wanted to promote? The second thing, are there any rules for foreign investment to invest in the infrastructure and housing? And I've attended a meeting between Ontario government and the Egyptian businessmen associations that encourage the investments on both sides, Egypt and Canada. Thank you very much.
Okay, so let me maybe take your last point first. Investments in infrastructure. So as I mentioned a little bit earlier, one of the big opportunities we have, I believe, in Ontario is to set up maybe not one, but you could have 2 or 3 key municipal service corps or utility corporations that basically fund infrastructure. So let me give you an example in layman terms how it would work. So if we had a pool of funds from private equity, from pensions to whatever, with modest expectations, which is easier said than done, and they invested in, municipalities borrowed from and invested in infrastructure across Canada. If they did that and amortize it over 30 or 40 or 50 years, the length of that amortization, it could be lower than the DCs they're paying today, or it could be lower than the cost of borrowing against those DCs. So that's something we're exploring. It's not written in stone. We want to see the logic behind it, but we think there's merit, and there's some examples in the province today that are doing it, smaller examples that could be folded in if they chose to. So that's the first part or second part of your answer. I hope I answered this. So yes, we're open to considering. When it comes to rentals, the market usually dictates what they need to build, what type of accommodations they need to build. But I would say, and important to note, we're seeing capacity increase in rentals. In Toronto, we saw the price of rent drop for 15 straight months, and which saw a 5.1% decrease from April in 24. So we're seeing the new capacity we're bringing on. We're starting to see it have, maybe not positive for the investor, but positive for the renter. About a 5.1% drop in rental costs, up 10% year to date in terms of purpose-built rentals, and up nearly 18,000 homes last year in terms of purpose-built rentals. So it's an important part of the housing continuum, and we're going to continue to create the environment for our home builders to build more high-rises, transit-oriented communities, but not at the expense of shadows and concerns for those living in single-family residence. But it's a big part of the housing continuum, and it's going to be even bigger in years to come.